The same word is a peace project that promotes peace and understanding between different groups. In recent years, so many terrorist attacks have shown us how religions can divide us. But there are so many commonalities between our traditions, the same concepts, the same ideas, the same words of the project's title. I put together an international team of creatives where we look for the musical and ethical commonalities in the world religions. Out of this research there will be a text which is then set to music, because music is our medium and music connects people that otherwise don't have a lot in common. So, join us on our trip to the cultures, the traditions and their music. In August 2019, the creative team meets in Israel. For the first time, everyone gets together to research and to get to know each other.
There are four of us. We are four composers, visual artists. There's documentary crew. The creator of the project is a journalist.
When is Sawad coming?
So Sawad should be getting into the airport in about 10 minutes.
Egyptian Quran reciters, before they even read the words from the Quran, they are taught maqam, which is the musical scales of the Middle East. They are taught these extensively, so that when they go and read a verse from the Quran, if it talks about hell, they're not going to have a major sounding scale. And if it talks about love and God's mercy, it's going to have something that sounds more sweet. So as a result, if you're listening to a Moroccan or Syrian or Egyptian or even Palestinian reciter where music is not taboo, when they are reciting the Quran, if you are a musician in particularly, you will be able to understand the words more because the emotion of the scale matches the meaning of the word. Whereas Saudi Arabian Quran reciters are never taught maqam because it's considered forbidden, it's music. Searching for a way to combine my beliefs with my musical upbringing brought me to see these things, and then that concept that music is forbidden was like, how could that be true, you know? Like how could someone even fathom a world without music, you know? And how can you even worship without music, which is found in your mother's voice, it's found in the birds outside, it's found everywhere, you know?
An important aspect of our trip is immersing ourselves in the respective cultures. Like here at Mehane Yehuda, a big market in Jerusalem, not even 2 kilometers from the notoriously troubled old city.
When you compare this Allahu Akbar, which they've said probably like 100 times, to what's the Allahu Akbar that you see in a movie about a terrorist, or like that actually happens with terrorists, what a contrast, you know?
There's certainly no shortage of history of Christianity being invoked in the name of God to slaughter people. Yeah. So it's hardly unique. It's just, I think it's more immediate because it's in our recent memory that we can look back and see examples of that happening. How conveniently it is that we forget.
You have those scriptures, and they were written by men, and they were used by men, and they were abused by men.
Politics and religion are, when they come together, it's like a weapon of mass destruction, you know?
No matter whether during the work sessions or while exploring Jerusalem and its different cultures, music is always a topic.
Kanun would sound definitely more like Middle Eastern. Like I don't think it can sound like, for example, Buddhist.
Yeah.
For example,
the instrument itself evokes the ethnic background
if
it
you
comes
put
from.
Kanun, it's definitely you're talking about Middle Eastern.
Yeah.
A keyboard instrument would be, I think, important and useful again for all of us. So, a piano is certainly preferable to none.
What would you think of a digital piano?
There's a danger that we end up sounding like Philip Glass kind of ensemble. That
I mean, I also just don't really care for synthesizers in classical music, period. I just don't.
There is another possibility which I discussed with Dorothy, like to have also like a soundtrack, like because we have like especially in Jerusalem we have the muezzin and the church and recording. Yeah.
A few months later, in January 2020, we meet again in New York, another cultural melting pot, the secular commentary to Jerusalem, a city steeped in religion. Here too, we visit sacred places, though the majority of our sessions concerns trying to figure out a way for the composers to collaborate and to discuss the first drafts of my texts. And now switch the Bible and the Quran. And there was day, mirrored by the surah.
Yeah, by the sun and
by the sun and his brightness.
And there was day?
So there was day and night and the moon where she borrows light from him. And sky and land and seas and plants and sun.
You could play around contrapuntally with and sky and land and seas and plants and sun. Those are all short fragments that can get layered and repeated and underscoring things without people necessarily not comprehending them.
I think I would agree with you with this thing, and because it's more like Quran and the Bible, which is also the Torah. Maybe it would be nice to have some sort of something from the Hinduism part as well, Buddhist, that the Buddhist or the Hindu can also join in on this, like what I can see as a nice fugal contrapuntal part.
In addition to the work on the project itself, talking about arts, culture and politics is a big part of our daily routines.
I don't know that necessarily art can stop war or can stop people from committing violence or spreading hate, but I think that what it does is it speaks to the best of humanity, and I think that it moves people's hearts in a way that pure speech or reasoning or writing in a newspaper doesn't necessarily have the opportunity to do.
We still have a little time left. Why don't we do our first private session now?
Sure, yeah. I mean, it's a good rehearsal for the actual collaboration.
I'm somebody who does better with I have restrictions rather than just write anything.
Yeah.
Do you want to say for piano?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so a piano piece, how long?
16 bars.
Key,
F sharp major.
Thanks, Martin.
Here in New York, the composers also try out ways how a musical cooperation could work.
Wo genau es jetzt hingeht, weiß keiner, glaube ich, so genau. Und deswegen bin ich im Moment so gespannt. Ich finde es immer grandios, mit Komponisten zusammenzuarbeiten, um Rückfragen zu stellen, wie hast du dir das und das gedacht? Und dieser direkte Kontakt ist einfach super angenehm.
After New York, each of us now needs to continue working on the project in Hamburg and all around the world.
It's been slow starting, but I'm planning to have something to send to Suad next week. It goes to her first, right?
The text sessions in New York were really helpful for me. For one, because the composers told me that they liked the text I put together, but also because now I know what they need to be working with it.
Bist du denn zufrieden jetzt mit der musikalischen Umsetzung deiner Textzusammenstellung?
Ja, ich bin super glücklich damit, was da rausgekommen ist.